Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. In this video, we will look at a study by Vladislav Rogozin composed about 90 years ago. In this position, we can notice that two of our pieces are under attack at once. Our rook is being protected by the knight, but our knight is under attack, and if we retreat anywhere with this knight, black takes our rook, and otherwise black will capture the knight on the next move. The question is, how can we win with all this? I suggest you pause the video and try to find the solution for white. How can we actually achieve victory here? Now, let's move on to the solution. Obviously, we would like somehow to move the rook further away from the opponent's king and at the same time attach ourselves to the black bishop. But how can we do this correctly? After all, there are quite a few different options. Let's take a look at the example of the move rook to c6. We move the rook far from the black king, and if the opponent does nothing, then on the next move we play knight to g6, bringing our knight under the protection of the rook, and we are left with rook and knight against bishop, and that of course is a winning endgame. And our idea is also that if black captures our knight at this moment, then the opponent's bishop and king end up on the same rank. Then, we will have a chance to play rook to c8, deliver a double attack, and win this game. But in reality, the move rook to c6 has its drawback. The problem is that in this position, after we played rook to c6, black is not going to capture our knight immediately. First, in this position, he pulls back his bishop with check, bishop to g3, and after our king retreats somewhere, black will capture our knight. And now we have no fork. If we play rook to c8, the bishop has already left. We can't win it anymore. The only thing we can try here is rook to h6 check, hoping the king goes back to g8. And then we could fork. But obviously, the king steps to g7. No fork for us. And here it becomes an absolutely drawn ending. With correct play by black, we cannot win at all. Alright, but what other options do we have? We can, of course, play rook to b6, attacking this bishop right away. Or we can play rook to a6 with the idea that after the knight is taken, we go rook to a8. But all these options run into the same thing. The black bishop will play g3 check. And on the next move, black captures our knight, and white can do nothing after that. In this position, the correct move is rook to e6. But you might ask, well, how is it different from rook to c6? After all, and just the same, black can play bishop to g3 check here. But this variation has its own advantage. Our rook on e6 turns out to be ideally placed. We retreat with our king to e2. After that, black must capture our knight because if he doesn't, we escape to g6 under the rook's protection. And then we easily achieve victory. So, of course, black tails the knight. And then we play king to f3. We simply attack the bishop. The bishop has the entire open board, but none of them will save it. Let's check all the squares in order. The square e1 is covered by our rook. That's one reason for its placement on e6. The square f2 is covered by our king. There is also h2 and h4. But if the bishop goes to one of these squares, then we play rook to h6, delivering a double attack. Fine. But the bishop also has another big diagonal. The square f4 is covered by our king. e5 and d6 are covered by the rook. Another reason to its position on e6. The square b8 is unavailable because we would play rook to e8 and deliver a double attack. Accordingly, the only available square left is c7. But after that, we still play rook to e8 check. And on the king's retreat, we deliver a double attack on and secure victory. That's how we managed to trap the bishop on a completely empty board. If you found all of this, I congratulate you on solving this task. Well, that's where I will end this video. Subscribe and hit like if you enjoyed it. Goodbye everyone.